So when you have spent years and years looking for your husband, looking for a boyfriend, looking for a good man, and you have experienced failures after failure after failure, at some point you're tired, and you have what they call learned helplessness. And so that means that because every time you do something you always get the same bad results, you believe that it's always going to be that way. And so in your mind, because in love it never works for you, you're gonna believe that, and it's going to be a belief like when you see the sun, this is the sun. And so you're gonna believe, okay, I will never be able to meet somebody good. Or you can believe that all the good men are taken. So this man treats you like dirt. He disrespects you. He doesn't take care of you. He treats you really badly. But you're still there. You're still here. You're still waiting. You're still hoping that at some point it's going to change. But the problem is, over time, 10 years, 20 years for some people, and it's still the same situation. And so if you're wondering why you're stuck, keep watching. Hi, my name is Amina. I'm a life coach, and I'm here to give you some tips, offer another perspective, and answer some questions you might have. So if you have questions or video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you like what I do here, please subscribe, like, and share, and help me spread the word. Okay, so today's videos, like I was saying, is about knowing why you're stuck with a man that doesn't treat you right. And so I have 5 points that I want to share with you. And so I'm gonna start doing it. So point number 1 is you're afraid to be alone. And so as many women, when you're used to being with somebody, whether things go well or not, depending on your level of self-esteem and self-worth, the change is difficult. Let's put it that way. You used to be with somebody here, and now if you're by yourself, and because you don't believe you can maybe in the future find somebody else, you doubt it, so you're gonna cling to that person and cling to the situation because it's too hard for you to imagine yourself being alone, which is something that I completely understand, because if you have been through a lot, you know that at least having somebody in the same bed with you, it helps. But when you have to face everything by yourself, it's very discouraging. And so for some people, they prefer to be with the devil itself, with the devil himself, than to be by themselves. And so that's one of the reasons. If that's the case for you, you need to reflect on that. Is it better to take the hit right now and be alone and heal, do the work to heal, and probably find a better man in the future? Or is it okay to stay with the same guy that disrespects you, mistreats you, and this is what is waiting for you for the next, I don't know how many decades in the future? So you have to make the choice. Do the hard thing now and free yourself for a better future, or stay still living in a very difficult situation and living a hard, tough time for decades. Reason number 2 you can't leave that man is you don't want to start over again. I completely understand. When you have spent 10 years with somebody, especially if everything was good in the beginning and then all of a sudden that person changed their behavior, you didn't see that coming, and now you have to start over again. You're just, to be honest, you're just lazy. Yeah, you're just lazy. And for a single woman, I see how difficult it can be to just meet a different person, to meet a new man that looks, that it looks pleasant to me and that has a good character. So it can be difficult. And so I cannot even imagine when somebody has been in a relationship and now they have to start over again and do the whole same the same old process, to go back and try to date many people, try again and again until you find somebody, and then you don't even know if that person, starting all over again can be daunting, especially when you have been comfortable with somebody and now you realize that this ain't working and this is going nowhere in the future. Now I have to leave this guy and then try to find somebody else. And so it's a lot of work, going on dates, looking for introductions, and worse, when you have to go online, if you believe in dating apps. That's too much work just to find one good person. And so you can be tempting to just stay in your pajamas and do your stuff, your routines, and that's it, because looking for a new mate, it's too much work. And so I totally get it. But if you stay with the wrong person just because you don't want to start over again, you're wasting your future and you're wasting your time with the wrong person. If you give yourself another chance, if you do the work on you and focus on maybe your purpose and then find it, maybe it's gonna help you to to have a different perspective about life. Maybe when you work on your purpose, you're gonna realize that, oh, you know what, I was too focused on finding the right guy, but I'm actually now very interested in developing something that can help other people, or creating something that you have in your heart, you have been thinking about for a very long time. So now if you focus on that, believe me, you will have less time thinking about, okay, I need to start over again. Point number 3 is you believe, you hope, you feel like things will get better over time. And this is a lie most of the time, because some men can change, but in most situations when somebody has been treated you very badly, it's not going to change, because not everyone is capable of repenting, of looking at themselves in the mirror and blaming themselves, acknowledging that they've been wrong, they've been mean to you. Not everybody can do that. So chances are they're not gonna do it. Chances are things are not going to get better. And so what's the best thing to do for you in this situation? You control what you can control, and what you can control is just to leave the situation. I'm not telling you what to do, because you're the one in charge of your life. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that yes, it can change. The change can happen. It has happened for many people, but that many people is like a small portion of the total of the bad situations. And so you decide for yourself. But think about the odds. So before we get to the next point, just wanted to remind you that I have a website where you can find everything that I'm doing, whether it's my blog or my coaching service. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing over there, you're going to find the link in the description box below. Thanks. So my next point is, you're afraid you won't be able to find a good guy or even to meet another man. So when you have spent years and years looking for your husband, looking for a boyfriend, looking for a good man, and you have experienced failures after failure after failure. At some point you're tired, and you have what they call learned helplessness. And so that means that because every time you do something you always get the same bad results, you believe that it's always going to be that way. And so in your mind, because in love it never works for you, you're gonna believe that, and it's going to be a belief. Like when you see the sun, this is the sun, and so you're gonna believe, okay, I will never I will never be able to meet somebody good. Or you can believe that all the good men are taken. Or you can believe that, oh, this is the end, I will never meet anybody else. Like you're so depressed, and you're so you have lost hope so much that even believing that you can walk on the streets and find, and just look and see there is a guy that looks like something you would be interested in, even that you don't believe it exists. And so be careful with the limiting belief. And I know it's difficult because it feels so real. It feels like this is the truth. This is what my life is going to look like for sure in the future. But you have to challenge that. When you have limiting beliefs, the only way to prove to yourself that there are limiting beliefs is to go and take action and prove to yourself that this is actually false. So go ahead and don't stay with somebody just because you don't think you can find another good guy. And my last point is, you just want to settle and be done. And this is something I can relate with, because if for you being in a relationship is like a step on the checklist, so once you check off, oh, finding my husband or finding my boyfriend or whatever, once it's checked off, you don't want to remove the mark and say, oh, you know what, I'm stepping back. I thought I was there and I made some progress, and now all of a sudden I have to step back. I have to back up because he actually this man wasn't the right one. And so you're just like you're tired of starting all over again. You just want to be done with this step on the checklist of your life, finding somebody and be done. Whether he cheats on you, whether he disrespects you, you don't care. As long as your status is she is engaged, she's married, she is in a relationship, you don't care about the rest, and you just want that. And some men, whether they love you or not, they will be happy with the agreement, because they know they just need to come back home and pretend to be in a couple with you, and then next day they go out, they go for work, and then they can do whatever they want. You will be fine, because all you want is the status of I'm no longer alone. And I'm not here to judge, because I totally get it. When you check off this, being in a relationship, it feels like, okay, yes, I've arrived somewhere. But at the end of the day, if it's not the right person, you have to do it again. Yes, and remove that check mark. So as a recap, reasons you feel you are stuck with a man that doesn't treat you well. So number 1 is you're afraid to be alone. Number 2 is you don't want to start all over again. Number 3, you feel like things are going to get better. Number 4, you're afraid you won't find another man. And number 5 is you just want to settle and be done with this part of your life. So my challenge for you today is examine the points of that list and see if you recognize yourself in one of them. Face the truth. If that's not the case, good for you. I'm really happy for you. But if you find yourself in any or even many of these situations, you have to be true to you have to be true to yourself. You have to face the truth. You have to I think that's pretty clear. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you like what I do here. And if you have questions or video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. My question for you today is, so if you find yourself, or if you know somebody, let's say, if you know somebody that has been in this situation and they have moved on, can you share with us the experience of that person? I'm not talking about naming the person or whatever. But it's like, she was in this situation, she was stuck, but then she opened her eyes, and then she went to do self-development, and he ended up well. Now she's married. Something like that. That would be greatly appreciated, because we need to give hope to other people and for them to know that it's possible. And I would even recommend a book that I really, really, really liked, and it's called let me go take the book. So this is the book. It's called Sis Don't Settle by Faith Jenkins. So I shared the book in one of my videos. I just read a few pages, but I knew it would be interesting, and then I read the whole thing, and personally it really helped me, and it gave me hope again. And because what I really liked is, it feels like she could understand and she wasn't judging. I really liked it, and she put words in things that myself, I couldn't even express, I couldn't even describe. I just, when she said those things, I was like, oh damn, that's my situation, and she helped me have more clarity, and even to move on from like a situation where I was in, you at some point you can be like, even if you have moved on, sometimes you can ask yourself, you can be wondering, maybe I could have done this, blah blah blah. But then she helped me to completely eliminate my lingering thoughts about the situation. So I highly recommend this book. I think that's it for today. So I hope it helps as usual. So until next time, I wish you a good weekend. I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.